Alrighty, it's Thursday night and we are live with the Tarot Tribe. Welcome in, everyone. It's great to have you all here, and I hope you've all had a wonderful week. I know I have, despite the 105-degree heat here in Colorado. But it's great to see you all here. See a lot of new faces, a lot of returning faces. We've already got a few people in the queue, so clearly you know how everything here works. And if you're new and you don't know, I'll explain very quickly. I give free mini tarot readings on this live stream every Thursday night. If you'd like one, just put your request in the chat, and my wonderful wife and moderator, Candy Hearts Art, will put you in the queue, and we will pull some cards for you and try to get some insight into whatever is on your mind. Before we get to the individual readings, I like to pull a few cards and get some messages from Spirit for us as a group for the week going forward. And so we'll get right to that. And if for some reason you don't want a reading, certainly let me know how you've been in the chat. And of course, you can always support us by subscribing to this channel, liking this video, clicking the bell icon, make sure that you're always notified of new live streams and content on my channel. We do also accept donations, and you'll see a link for that somewhere in the chat by chatbot at some point. But every like, every subscription, every comment is so helpful to us in supporting what we do here. So welcome in Patty and Helen Hummingbird, Teresa. Hi, Stephanie. Hello, Mia. If you haven't put a request in for a reading, don't hesitate. We do get pretty busy and we fill up pretty quick. So before we get to your individual readings, let's see what Spirit has in store for us this evening. Let's try to even this up a bit. Okay, that's better. And we're starting with the Crow Tarot deck tonight, because I haven't used it in a while, and there are a lot of crows out and about today, so I felt inspired. It's a message from Spirit. Okay, so what do we need to know for this week? Oh, the Death card. Ooh, scary. It's never scary. Knight of Swords. And Page of Wands. Well, in last week's group message, I'm trying to remember all of it, but there was a big theme of like rest and some celebration in there as well, I believe. And also, I think there was some cards around sort of influence and speech. And so this Death card is really more like the rebirth, like we've taken the rest, right? Hopefully you were able to take some time and rest and regroup in the midst of all this summer chaos. And also, astrologically, we are going into the August. Every August we have the Lionsgate portal. That's a alignment of planets in the house of Leo, and it's a very powerful time. A lot of emergent energy, a lot of expansive and powerful energy, and it can throw you for a loop if you're not really ready to sort of catch that wave. But if you are, it's a really great time to launch new things, put new things forward, and really get rolling on some stuff in your life. And so this is really what this is about. It's the rebirth of this, and that's what the Death card here really is. It's not so much the end of things, but the beginning of something new, the clearing out of our old selves. And a lot of that new self that will emerge is someone who is a very confident communicator and influencer. Really, this looks at us really not being afraid to speak our truth, not getting hung up and chewing over our words, expressing the things that we need and want to express without any hesitation, with complete honesty and authenticity. And that is so essential to putting new work out into the world. And then Page of Wands certainly suggests a renewed effort into meaningful action in your life, especially around things like your career or your job, but other meaningful activities, other things you do that really serve your life's purpose, your soul's purpose in the world. And so we're going to look at sort of a youthful and sort of reuniting with that, sort of a renewed interest in it, feeling good again. Whatever your life's work is, it's going to feel exciting. You're going to feel like you really want to keep some momentum there, and it's going to be really just a beautiful thing instead of feeling maybe burdensome or bogged down, which I sense that a lot of us have sort of gotten a bit bogged down here in the middle of the summer. So a great renewal is headed for us this week. And with that, and I hope that is helpful, we will move on to our individual readings. Let's see, my chat might be a bit stalled. So far, for personal readings in the queue, we have Helen Hummingbird and Stephanie. Both have questions in, and I don't know if we have any others yet, but like I said, don't hesitate to put those in the chat. We can get kind of bogged down. And excuse me 1 second. Just have to check one thing. I'm not sure if I'm frozen here. Chat. It's not. Okay, never mind. We're good. People are chatting. Hello, Jay. Welcome in. You can certainly ask a question. Just put it right in the chat. All right. First up, we have Helen Hummingbird. And Helen Hummingbird asks, what kind of transformation coming my way, and how are things going to look like in the next few months? All righty. A great general question. Tarot is certainly a tool of transformation, of personal transformation, and also transforming the world around us, because they're one and the same. The Crow deck is the largest cards I have as far as size. They can be a little tricky to shuffle. So, well, here's some cards for you, Helen. I think we'll go with them. The Crow flew out. So let's see. We have the Tower, the World, and Six of Cups. Well, this is all very, very exciting stuff. And Helen, you were asking generally about what transformations are coming your way. And so in the recent past leading up to the present, I think you've been going through sort of this Tower moment. And the Tower is very much this card of like the breaking down of the old order. So kind of like we said with the Death card itself, like things have to end to give way to new and greater things. Give me one moment here. Just trying to straighten this out a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. That's a little better. All righty. So I apologize for the interruption, but Helen, so you're emerging from this breaking down of like old things, the things that you had established in your life that had served you well up until now are crumbling and coming apart. That can be a bit scary. It can be very jarring, it can really throw you for a loop. And maybe that's already starting to clear up a bit. And now you're looking forward like, oh, I've been through this already. And now you're like, what's next? So which makes total sense given your question. And what you're stepping into now is the world. So this is a phase of your life where you are making a deeper connection to spirit, to the universe, or source, or whatever you want to call it. And you are tapping into that pure creative force that when you allow it to flow through you, this is where your power, your real power comes from. It's your ability to really change yourself and the world around you. So this transformation that you're stepping into that's beginning now it's a big one. It's a big, powerful thing. It's a lot more than any one simple thing. Like you're going to give up, give up an unhealthy habit, or get a small raise at your job or something like that. This is the big stuff. So this transformation is the entirety of you. It's going to permeate all the different parts of your life. It's big. And as great as that is, that also could be a little scary as well. You know, we're not, even when we're becoming something greater, we're not used to being that thing yet. And so our bodies react. Our bodies and our minds, especially, are always trying to sort of maintain what is, what we already know, what's comfortable. And so growth can be very uncomfortable. But the long term effect of this is something really beautiful. And as you emerge from this, there'll be some more discomfort in it. You will come out of that discomfort, that will clear up. And you're really going to emerge with like this really bright feeling of the world. So a lot like the Page of Wands in the group reading, there is a sense of return to the joy and wonder of childhood. You know, we are all born into this world kind of in a perfect state. And then as we grow, the world around us, our parents, other people in our life, teachers, school, all that stuff, society, sort of programs all this stuff into us. And it pulls us away from the universe, from that connection to source, when we are most free and most complete. And so, because if we were just in that place the whole time, we wouldn't grow and change. We would just be there. And as blissful as all that is, that oneness with the universe, it is a state of stasis. It's really, nothing's really happening there. And we were meant to live in both these worlds. We were meant to be connected to spirit, and that spirit is meant to flow through us into the physical world, where we are also meant to be, and we are meant to create that world, the real world, quote unquote, in our image as we see fit. And that's our co-creatorship with the universe. And when we reconnect with that, we find ourselves back in that place of youthful innocence and joy. And so that's a lot of what's coming for you, Helen. And it's a really beautiful thing. So just go with it. Let it happen. There'll be some discomfort in it, but try to just let it be. Don't force anything or fight with it. And some really beautiful things will emerge in your life. A lot of joy and calm and prosperity as well. So thank you for your question, Helen. That's greatly appreciated, as always. And moving on, and up next, we have Stephanie Sheko. And I think you've been in before, Stephanie. Welcome back. If not, welcome for the first time. And Stephanie asks, what's coming for me in love in August? Thank you very much. Well, thank you. And congratulations, you've got the first love reading of the night. Always a bit of a bonus. I see Panya has joined us. Welcome in, Panya. Thank you for showing up tonight. Okay, Stephanie, let's get your love reading. Couple good shuffles. Okay, we're in a good cut. Oh, Crow deck. I so badly want to befriend or train crows. If anyone here has befriended a crow, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear all about it, how you did it, and what that's really like. Ooh, pentacles, lots of pentacles, and a King of Wands. So some powerful energy here in your love life here. Very, very awesome stuff. So we see all this king energy. There is definitely some powerful stuff going on in your romantic life here and what's coming. So it's very interesting. I do sense some new romance. So the aces are always new things. An ace of pentacles is like a physical thing. So I do sense some new romance entering your life, new love. And in the past, a lot of your romances, and this might seem like kind of just obvious, like all people are like this, but I think in the past you definitely have listened more to like the physical attraction piece of of yourself, and so a lot of the people you've been drawn into have a lot more, a lot of what you are attracted to them is more along the physical lines of things, the physical piece of it, attraction, more than maybe other things like are they, financially stable or emotionally stable or emotionally mature, some of those other pieces. And there's no judgment or shame in any of this, please. So don't misunderstand. Um, but that's a lot of what has pulled you into relationships. And maybe, some of those relationships haven't worked out because there are other parts of this that weren't really great in the past because you were really keyed in on the physical part of it. Now, I sense that this new romance in your life is someone that you will certainly have a great deal of physical attraction for. Again, the pentacles are related to health and the human body and the physical world. So this person will also, certainly grab your eye and you will have those feelings. But also, this person, I think, more than your past romances, will be a lot more financially capable, a lot more driven, and have a lot more ambition in life. And that's the King of Wands. The wands are the suit of, again, purpose, career, and job, and things like that. So that might be a bit new to you, and in a great way. Someone who has a little more financial stability and ambition in life. And maybe you haven't had that with some of your past partners. And so that's going to be a really awesome thing for you. And they're going to just be like a very powerful presence in general. It's funny, we're talking about the Lionsgate portal, and here, at least in this, in this version of the King of Wands, the crow, the subject of the card, is sitting on this lion, like the lion is its throne. And that's really fun, and that really speaks to that as well. So, in a sense, this person is going to kind of be that stable space for you to that sort of lifts you up, in a way. Like this person's ambition and stability is something that's going to enhance your own life in a big way and make you feel more powerful. Like he enables you to do more and be more of your own self. So I see a really nice relationship coming down the line for you very soon. So thanks for showing up, Stephanie. And thank you for your question. And I see that you mentioned that you do have some tarot cards and do a little bit of tarot reading. I do offer a beginner's tarot course. It's only $18, at least for the rest of this month, and it's 3 hours live on Zoom. It's fully interactive and hands-on with me and some other students. So the link for that is in the description for the video, and at some point my chat bot will pop that out as well. So if you want to check that out and join us sometime, that would be great. We have a few students in here, including Panya and also my own wonderful wife, Candy Hearts Art, have both taken the course and they're reading confidently. So check that out too. Moving on, and the list is growing. Up next, we'll give you the whole queue here. Up next, we have Teresa, then Pretty in Pink, then Cool Libra, and then Panya. And so welcome into all of you. And also, I see Bruh Man in here, and probably a few people I've missed. So thank you all for showing up tonight. And Teresa asks, did Alicia get unemployment after getting fired? Okay. Well, let's see. cards everywhere. Well, that's way too many cards. So those go back in somewhere. So we have one card. I think that's going to be one of your cards, Teresa. Okay, let's get the rest. So first card was 7 of Pentacles. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles and Justice. Well, that's very interesting. So, and this is about Alicia getting unemployment after getting fired. Okay. Pardon me. And it's funny because these more specific questions are actually a lot easier to answer in a way. There's a lot, the answers are kind of succinct. Yeah, a coworker, yeah. So here's what I see happening. The unemployment process is going to probably take a while. It's going to get kind of dragged out in terms of waiting to hear. I sense that this person will be denied for their unemployment. The 5 of coins or pentacles is very strong on that. This is very much a card of like being out in the cold kind of thing. And so there's some scarcity there. And I don't really wish that on anyone, even if you're, like you say, your coworker is not a great person. But, that being said, like, we're all human beings. And, but I think she will be denied, at least initially. And then the Justice card is really interesting because it suggests that there might be some kind of appeal around this denial. And maybe she will get some form of unemployment. But there will be sort of an initial denial. And maybe even the employer might try to block it or something. But I sense that she'll appeal it, and she might win on an appeal. So that's what I sense out of it. And in the long run, just to go a little further with it, from her perspective, this will be an experience for her. So whatever parts of her, whatever things about her that are toxic or whatever it is that lead you to feel like she is bad or not, but this is going to be a bit of a wake up for her. I think she's going to get sort of jolted by this denial, and in the long run, that might cause her to change and transform a bit and become a little bit better person. And maybe ending up in the Navy is going to be a big part of that as well. So that's what the Justice card might be more about. But that's what I get around this person's unemployment claims. So thank you for your question, Teresa. And just for everyone, I did just pin this comment that I've pinned has the link for the tarot class. So for anyone who wants to check that out and or register, I have a bunch of different days and times that we're running it this month. And really, that's another great way to support our work. And you get a wonderful class and a wonderful practice of tarot in return. So it's a great exchange. Thank you, Teresa, for your subscription as well. Super helpful. So moving on, we've got Pretty in Pink. And Pretty in Pink says, hello from California. Do Nick and I have a future together, or will someone come into my life, and how to meet him? Thanks, Patricia D. Okay. try one more big shuffle here. It's really hard with these cards. Welcome in, Melons. Well, these cards love to fly out. So here's your first card, pretty in pink, Patricia. King of Cups. We have a lot of the court cards. There's a lot of people in our lives right now. Different things going on with people in our lives. The Four of Wands. And the Emperor. Okay. Well, this is and really strong messages. Like, you know, sometimes we pull cards. I do readings, and the answers are a little bit ambiguous. They're a little bit they're just not as strong. And then some days they just come through. A lot of that's probably just me and where my energy is, but some of it's just the universe. So for you, Patricia, there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of strong indicators for the future of you and Nick. I sense that Nick is someone who is fairly emotionally intelligent and stable, especially like for a guy. We tend to not really have that emotional intelligence as much because society discourages us from really listening to our emotions and expressing them. And so, relatively speaking, he's someone who has a lot of that. And that's a really good thing for a relationship. Now, I'm sure he has his ups and downs, and there are days where, I mean, we all get grumpy and we all have days where we're really happy and days where we're sad and all that. And maybe some days where it's not obvious what's going on with him. But overall, I think he is probably a pretty stable person, someone who really is able to share life with you. And as you spend more time together, that will continue to grow. And the Four of Wands definitely suggests that you are meant to celebrate this union. We have the two crows here, and these wands are all growing these beautiful flowers. And so this is a relationship that will continue to flourish in the long term. It's really a beautiful thing. Often the Four of Wands in traditional Rider-Waite art looks almost like it could be some kind of wedding or other like big celebration. Now, that's not to say that you're going to run out and, just get married tomorrow, but there's definitely a lot of potential in the long-term, relationship here. So you're going to grow together over time. So that's definitely like a strong possibility for you. And finally, with the Emperor, a very powerful card. So a lot of order. So the Emperor is someone who is creating order in the world and sort of really taking up leadership and rulership over their kingdom. And so this speaks to your relationship that you two together in this bond are going to be powerful, that you complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. And that if you act together and in sync with each other, you're going to be able to do some really powerful things in life beyond what you'd be able to do on your own separately. So a really, just really powerful, really good tidings for your relationship with Nick. And I hope that clicks with you and makes some sense. If not, certainly please let me know. Again, thank you so much for showing up tonight, Patricia. And we will move right on. And I think we'll change up the decks. This one really, it's just rough on my hands. I do love that crow deck. Let's pull out the B deck. We haven't pulled anything. I think Cool Libra will enjoy a reading from the B Tarot. We didn't use it last week, so... And this is a deck, if you're new to the channel or you missed it, this is a deck that I did an unboxing of about a month ago, and that is on the channel. So you can go find that if you want to watch that and learn more about this wonderful deck. It's a really beautiful, sort of Celtic-inspired deck, and it's all bee-themed. It's quite wonderful. So Cool Libra asked for a general reading. This one's a lot easier to shuffle. Oh, so many love readings tonight. How wonderful. Love is in the air. It's summer. Okay, cool, Libra. This is not a love reading. This is a general reading. So maybe it'll be about love. Let's see. Well, King of Jars. So the jars are definitely about love sometimes. Okay. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. I'm just going to pull this in a little bit more. There we go. That's really nice. Okay. Just so we can see those cards a little better. All right, cool, Libra. So, yeah, there's kind of like a bunch of different parts of your life in this. I think, the King of Jars here is, there's a certain contentment here, with your life in general and kind of with your love life. And even if you're not with anyone, like you're kind of feeling okay about that. You're like, well, you know, um, kind of wherever your love life is at, whether you have someone you're with or not, whatever your current situation is, you're feeling pretty content with that. And you're feeling like, whatever is going to happen, um, that's good. Like it's just everything's cool there and that thing. And so that's just sort of like cruising along. So we have a lot of the pentacles and the wands here. So in the near future, in the present here, we're going to see a greater abundance growing. So some of your hard work is going to start to really pay off here. Some of these checks are going to be ready to cash finally, and that's what you're really going to see emerging in the most immediate future. In the next week or 2 weeks, you're going to start to see that sort of showing up. It may not be a massive windfall all at once next week, but all the signs are going to be there. Like, oh, things are starting to pay off. Effort that you've put in already starting to show up. And as those checks come in, either literally or figuratively, that's going to lead you to start looking at the next steps. Okay, so this is working. This is great. Where do we expand now? And that's Two of Wands. We're looking out into the world. We're looking for the next thing and where to put our next stake in the ground. So a really great, great and prosperous week or two, really month of August coming up for you. A lot of those things are going to show up, and then you'll kind of start looking for the next thing to sort of get cracking on in the fall. So yeah, really good stuff. Cool, Libra. And as always, keep me and the rest of us up to date and let us know how things pan out. Okay, and up next we have Panya, and Panya has asked for the Phantasma deck. I have to grab it, so just bear with me one moment. I will be happy to do so. The lovely and whimsical Phantasma deck. Phantasma. Another deck that I have not read nearly enough with. And this one, Candy just bought for me on a whim. We were at the Pagan Pride Fest here in town one year. I think it was last year's Pagan Pride, where I often show up and I perform readings at it for a couple of years in a row. This year we're not actually going to do it. It's kind of gotten slow, but I've got some other things going on in the fall. So, but Phantasma deck is lovely. And Tanya asks a general reading for the family currently helping your husband Jeff pack up. And oh, so sorry to hear about your 16-year-old dog Athena. That's always hard. I didn't quite catch that in the chat earlier, so very sorry about that. And our hearts go out to you and your furry departed friend. Okay. All right, Panya, what's going on for your family? The Phantasma deck. Well, 10 of Cups. Seven of Cups. And Love, which is the Lovers. How beautiful. So to me, this 10 of Cups really speaks to, like, to some extent, it speaks to the passing of Athena. It's a very joyful presence in your life. And the first card and three cards, is kind of the past, as you know from the course. So, this, moving on from this. So obviously, there's this great joy that has come and now gone, and that's going to lead to a little bit of feeling a bit lost and confused, like kind of feeling like, I need something new to latch onto to bring some new light and life back into our lives, that kind of thing. Especially with, Jeff packing up and getting ready to head out. I think you're going to feel some of that, like, oh, I need to find something else right now, and some uncertainty around what. And it's going to feel a little icky. It's going to kind of throw you a bit, and you might kind of get pulled into some different things, but they don't really seem to fill that void. That doesn't mean you shouldn't explore them. They're not bad things, but they may not really fill that emptiness. And out of all of that, I think it's going to kind of pull you and the rest of the family together a little closer, quite a bit closer, even with Jeff, physically moving away, being away. This next bit of time, the next couple of weeks, I think you're all going to feel a love and a closeness that you hadn't maybe felt as much, over the last month, year, whatever. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of like grasping at new things and just feeling like you're trying to fill this empty void. But it's going to pull you all together. And that's really what's going to fill that space, is like a growing affirmation of what you already have, which is a beautiful, loving family. So that should emerge for you, Panya. And hopefully that gives you some comfort from your grief. Okay. Thanks for showing up as always. We'll move on. And just to update everyone, here we are with the queue. So Bruhman will be up next, then Speak Knowledge, Melons Maloney, Front Street Girls, Leet, and Merlid are all in the queue so far. And Bruhman asks, will I be living at my current place or staying at PTY at the end of the month? Okay. Well, I think let's go back to the, let's pull the B Tarot again. I want to do some more with the B Tarot. Welcome in Country Love Homestead. Bruhman, will I be living at my current place or staying at PTY at the end of the month? Interesting. Welcome in, Slow Deezy. You are not too late by any means to get a nice reading. Okay, Bruhman, are you staying, or are you moving somewhere else? At least at the end of the month. Okay. Well, Ace of Swords, that's always like new things. Two of Jars. Okay. And Justice. The stinging bee. I love how the stinging bee is the Justice card in this. All right, bro, man. Well, the Ace of Swords is a strong message, and the aces are always these new things. So this suggests that you will be leaving your current place pretty soon. And while you are at PTY, wherever or whatever, wherever that is exactly, there's going to be, you're going to make some new friends there. Two of Jars is often like some friendship, or maybe you'll reunite with someone that you are friends with or know. And, that sort of bond and friendship is going to grow. And, maybe they're not living there with you, but just from the fact that you are living in this new place, staying at this new place, some kind of friendship is going to emerge from that. Yeah. And, I think justice here is just a little bit about, in this case, more about your perspective. Some part of you might not be thrilled about leaving your current place. Part of you might be thrilled about it. Maybe you're a little bit conflicted. But justice is this card of like discernment, and so when we change our when we change where we're living, or we change our attitude, we change things in our life, it provides a different perspective, creates some contrast, something new, allows us to get a better perspective on what the old thing was and what was good and bad about it. So you might have a little bit of a breakthrough there with that, and this friendship might bring some of that out. So definitely a good move for you, bro, man, and I wish you all the best in that. Thank you for showing up tonight. And up next, Speak Knowledge asks us for a general reading. We'll get right to it. Country, I don't know if Candy saw your question, but we got it. Okay, we got it, Country. So don't worry. It's a little tough for Candy because she's in the other room on a laptop with kind of a small screen. So she is certainly a wonderful mod, but sometimes we all miss things. So. Yeah, and a little bit of crochet too. But I know that Candy can crochet blindfolded, so she's incredibly good at it. So, okay, Speak Knowledge. What general advice, what general message from Spirit about your life is here tonight? Prince of Jars. Ooh. The Princess of Wands. Okay. Very interesting. And Ace of Swords. A lot of court cards. It's very interesting. All right, Speak Knowledge. So, Prince of Jars, which is really like the knight in this deck. You've been really feeling just very like you're just charging forward with everything. You've felt a lot of momentum, a lot of drive and excitement about all the things you're doing, especially as you're expanding into your own business and your own things. So you've just been like following that and just galloping along with that. And here we have Princess of Wands showing up. And what this tells me is that maybe this is a call for you to, you've been so like locked in on what you're doing, especially with your career and things like that, that maybe this is a reminder. Well, it is a reminder to stop a little bit. Not like really stop, like take a big rest, but try to have a little more fun with this. You know, try to find some little spaces in what you're doing, um, to pull in a little bit of, gamify things a little bit. Try to make it a little bit fun for you. I know, like, you're someone who certainly is like passionate about your work and what you're doing, and so it is all like exciting, but it is a lot of work, and you can get yourself burned out even if you love to do it. I go through this all the time. Um, I can come in and do these readings for you guys, with like no sleep, and I just get so much energy out of it. But there is a point at which you can get a little burned out, or things can just feel a bit dull and repetitive. And so maybe that's going to creep in a little bit, and the universe and spirit is telling you, you know, look for some things in this that are a little more whimsical and joyful in your work, and sort of give that a little bit more energy, and take some time to make some things a little more fun, or do some parts of it that are just a little more fun and whimsical for you, and not quite as hard work, because those things also do a lot to further your goals. And what will emerge from that is some new knowledge, but really like a better ability to communicate and influence people. And so connecting to that fun part of things is going to allow you to put yourself out there in a more authentic and invigorating way, in a more magnetic fashion. And so when you are telling other people about what you're doing, and putting yourself out there, they're going to be pulled in even more, because they're going to feel some of that sort of excitement, that sort of like joy and playfulness in your work and in how you're approaching your work. And that's going to come through in how you speak and communicate with others. So yeah, find a little bit of that play in what you're doing, and that's going to serve you very well. Speak knowledge. So thanks for showing up again. Where are we here? Oh yeah, all the crocheters now. Candy tried to teach me to crochet for years, and I get very frustrated with anything that is like thread or string or rope, like tying knots and weaving and things like that. And it took me years. I had to keep trying and quitting and giving up. I finally got the hang of it and had enough patience. And I have about, I don't know, maybe a dozen rows of what will someday be a scarf, that I haven't worked on in a while. But ooh, commission for some apparel, Panya. That sounds exciting. That could be a lot of fun. Okay. All right, up next we have Melons Maloney. Hope you're still here, Melons. Always great to see you here. And Melons asks for a general reading as well. And we'll just keep going with the... You can just keep going with the B tarot here for a while. Okay, Melons, what do you got? The Moon. Ah, beautiful card. The Melissae, which is the High Priestess. And Temperance. Ooh, so that's 3 major cards. That's like jackpot. It's these huge, big, like major transformations in your life, Melons. These big, spiritual evolution. This isn't just like your job or your love life changing. It's everything. It's your soul evolving. So really powerful here. So you're just coming through a period where you've really started to integrate your shadow self, the parts of you, and that's what the moon represents here. It is the energy of that shadow. And the shadow self isn't necessarily things that are bad or evil, but they are the parts of yourself that you tend not to show to the world. And in many ways, we can become unaware of them ourselves, because they're the parts that we feel like are not considered acceptable to the world. This is Jung. The core of like Jungian psychology is the idea is that we all have a persona that we show to the world based on what people have taught us through life as sort of being the acceptable thing, and that persona is what we project to the world so that we can be accepted and liked and loved. And in doing so, there are parts of ourselves that we repress, things that we don't let out, certain emotions, certain attitudes and beliefs. They get repressed. And if we never allow those things back into our being, and we never love those things about ourselves, they can cause all kinds of trouble in our lives. They sort of eat away at us. And again, they're not always bad things. And so you've gone through a period where that stuff, you've actually reunited with a lot of that stuff. Even if it feels like, even if you're sitting here saying, well, I don't remember doing this, it's happening. Your life experiences and the things you've been doing have sort of put you back in touch with those things. And now you're moving into some new transformations. So part of this is still this looking inward phase. And that's what the high priestess is. The high priestess is like the doorway to the moon, essentially. She is the keeper of the moon. She's the goddess. And so now you're hitting a point where you're like, okay, I've integrated a lot of this into my life. What do I do with it now? Because often when we go through this transformation, we start to feel like, okay, I'm meant for something bigger. I'm meant to do something more. Maybe I'm meant to help others in some way. Even if you don't get into a career of reading tarot or coaching people or anything like that. Even if it's something like just I'm going to start painting and put my paintings out to the world. Whatever it is, those things are going to impact other people in a beautiful way because you've integrated your shadows. And so those parts of you, when they're properly integrated, make you very powerful and in a beautiful way that really helps others. And so I think that's what you're starting to look at now is like, what do I do next with this? I've made this great bit of progress. Yeah, I've gone through this healing. I want to help others in some way. And so that's the introspection you're doing right now. And yeah, helping others heal. And so many of us who go through this journey come out the other side of it wanting to help others. That's how I got here as well. And sort of farther along as you really start to look into that. And I really think you should take time with this. Don't just start trying to start a bunch of businesses or go and get some kind of certification or like, oh, I'm going to get a astrology certification or whatever. Take some time and explore these things and really sit with like what that could be and what means the most to you. And then it'll come to you. And that's temperance. That's like the inspiration of the next phase of transformation for you. And you'll start to lock in on like, okay, this is what I wanted, how I want to bring my own healing to others. So yeah, that's a really fun and exciting place to be because all these possibilities start to open up. So really just take your time with that and enjoy it. And then, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Melons. Thank you for showing up and for your question. And certainly keep showing up and let us know where that leads you. So at this juncture, I think mostly because my voice is getting a little worn out, I think this is where we'll take our 5-minute break. I have everyone here in the queue. Welcome back, Violet. We'll put you in the queue as well. So when I get back from our 5-minute break, we will have readings for Front Street Girls, Lee, Mary Lieb, Slow Deezy, Country Love Homestead, and finally Violet, and possibly anyone else who shows up after that. So we'll take 5 minutes, grab yourself a nice beverage, stretch your legs, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back from break. Sorry, we went a little long there. Welcome in. We've got a few more requests that came in. So welcome in Braveheart and Arif. We've put you in the queue, and then that will be it for the evening. So here's who we have, and there will be no new readings taken after the following people: Front Street Girls, Leet, Merlib, Slow Deezy, Country Love Homestead, Violet, Braveheart, and Arif. And then that will do it for the night. So thank you all for coming in, sticking around. You're all regulars here, but if for some reason you haven't subscribed or like the video, please do. And thank you all for showing up. And if you're able to, donations are wonderfully appreciated as well. And there is a link in the chat for that. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you, Arif. And Arif, don't misunderstand. We will do your reading. You will be the last one. So, all right. Front Street Girls asks, is Alexis going to make a move on me? Okay. Now we can see the cards. We're going to switch to the shiny Rider-Waite deck. I love how shiny the Prism deck is. And I love these cards because they're plastic. And so when I read in person, especially at bars and other establishments, someone spills something on them and I can clean them. Okay, Front Street Girls, we have the Two of Swords, the card of Temperance. Oh, there's Temperance again. A lot of transformational cards tonight. Some big transformations. And Page of Cups. So it does seem like Alexis is going to make some kind of move, some kind of gesture towards you. I think Alexis has been quite a bit torn and feeling like, oh, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't in the past. But we are seeing some big changes with Alexis. That's Temperance here. And a lot of that is their own her own confidence. It's not so much about anything you've done or any way that you're acting. It's just, her own hang-ups. So that's going to emerge soon. And it's just going to be a really we have a lot of pages showing up tonight, princesses and pages. And it's always these youthful sort of things. So it's just going to feel really good, when Alexis sort of directs her attention and affection at you. And you're going to have that feeling of that youthful, vigorous, oh man, everything is just wonderful. So I do sense that Alexis will make this move, and fairly soon. So there you go. There's not much more to say about it really, except yes. So thank you for your question, Front Street Girls. Next up, we have Leet. And Leet asks, will I get another job sometime this year? Okay. Okay. Will you get another job sometime this year? Well, Page of Pentacles, that speaks well. Four of Swords. And Nine of Cups. All right, Leet. So, a new job is coming. Page of Pentacles is definitely there's always a renewal thing. So, yeah, I sense there's going to be a new job coming, and it's going to be kind of something that you get pretty excited about. Now, I will say it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to require you to sort of pull back a bit and not get too wrapped up in checking your email every day. Like, oh, did I hear from them? Did I hear about this or that kind of thing? try not to put too much of your attention. I mean, obviously, do the things you need to do to look for and interview for this job that you're looking for. But do the things, put that time in, and then let it go. Put it aside until you're ready to do some more searching. So don't get too wrapped up in it. Don't gravitate towards that. Give yourself some distractions amongst this so that you're not just worrying too much. And then finally, the job that you find will be a very satisfactory and good job. You're going to be very happy with it. You're going to get a lot of satisfaction out of it. And that's the 9 of Cups here. So it is coming. And it won't be forever. I don't think it'll be like, this year. So, I mean, it's August. I sense sometime in the fall. I'm feeling more like maybe around October-ish. Maybe right at the beginning of November. That's kind of that's what Spirit is telling me. So it is coming, and it's going to be a good one when you find it. So great inspiring news for you, Leet. Thanks for showing up tonight again. I'm always so happy and grateful to see everyone here. Merleeb asks, what will be the personality of my next girlfriend? Thanks in advance. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can find out with a mini reading. This is the kind of thing, Merleeb, that at some point you might want to get a more in-depth reading. A person's personality is a complex thing. And so with just a few cards, we can only find out so much. But if you'd ever like to get a more in-depth, one-on-one reading, just go to my website. You can schedule those right through there. Or just send me an email if you don't really want to bother with my website, but something you might consider at some point. Okay. That being said, let's see if we can find out something about your next girlfriend. Okay. 5 of Cups. Alrighty. And 2 of Wands and 2 of Swords. So your next girlfriend. There is a lot here. I actually do see a lot here. So your next girlfriend is someone who's going to be fairly sharp, fairly quick-witted and smart, and someone who is somewhat knowledgeable and worldly too. First and foremost, they are someone who probably has some heavy things in their past. 5 of Cups, is like, can be some heavy, traumas or other, challenges in their past. So there is that. But your girlfriend, because you said next girlfriend, she is someone who has very much been able to move past those things. So she has actually healed quite a bit with those things. So it isn't like she's going to bring, all this baggage to the relationship where she hasn't dealt with any of this stuff and now it becomes your problem. So I don't want you to think it's like a red flag. Actually, quite the opposite. She has faced some of these things and in many ways healed from them. And there'll still be echoes of that in her life that will become apparent, but they're not things that are going to make your relationship difficult or problematic. They're things that have actually made her stronger and more powerful. And so that's where a lot of her worldliness and discernment comes from. So she is someone who is certainly a bit ambitious and looking out to the world, like, where can I go next? What can I do next? How can I expand my life? Especially in terms of like a job or career. So she is fairly like career focused. And she is also someone who actually has very good discernment. So she is very much in tune with herself. She's connected to her intuition and yet still has a lot of logic. And she balances those things pretty well. And she's not afraid to, she sort of chooses between those things confidently. So she's able to integrate logic and intuition in her life. And this is something that I think for you is going to be very attractive. And maybe you haven't had this in a partner in the past. It might even feel a bit mysterious to you. in some way, honestly, it might be slightly intimidating. You might have moments where you're like, wow, like she's like almost, sort of advanced past me. Like, I can't believe, like, um, that we're together, that she's interested in me, because she just seems to have it all put together. But don't let that intimidate you. Um, this is the person you're supposed to be with. So that's very exciting. Um, and yeah, it's going to be a very interesting person to get involved with, but you're going to get a lot out of it too. So thanks for that, Merlead. Moving on, we've got Slow Deezy. Slow Deezy asks, what kind of job will I get next? A warehouse or office job? Okay. So I guess your office job has not shown up yet, Slow Deezy. Well, let's see if that's still the case. I think the last time we kind of covered this, I think it was more. I think you were heading towards like that office job, or maybe that was someone else. If I misremember, I apologize. So I would expand on this question slightly. It's like find out a little more about what this job actually is. Because I think we are getting pulled towards this office job. So let's see. Oh, here's the Page of Pentacles again. Oh, welcome in, Rachel. It's great to see you. Thanks for popping in. Unfortunately, you're a little late for a reading tonight. We did kind of get filled up. But always good to see you. And if you ever want to connect with me personally, just reach out to me or Candy. We can always get you I'll be happy to do a free mini reading for you by email or something like that. These lives get really busy, and I know you're not always in here till later on. So I would love to read for you sometime, Rachel, if you'd like one. But getting back to Slow Deezy and this job. So, feels very much like an office job still. So, Page of Pentacles. So this is a job. It's a type of job that's going to be. There's going to be some parts of it that are a bit new to you. Not that like it's going to be a completely new thing. Like you've never done anything like this before. But oh, that's right. We did pull cards for you last week. Okay. But there's going to be some parts of this that are kind of novel and new, and that might be kind of exciting to you. You're going to be. It's not just going to be like, oh, geez, I got to learn this now. No, it's going to be like, this is interesting. This is cool. I'm getting pulled towards the office job, and the swords here, and the High Priestess as well, are really pulling me into that idea of like a job where you're using your mind mostly. So the swords being the suit of intellect and ideas, and words and communication. And it's a job where, and this goes hand in hand with the page. So you're going to learn some new things at this job as well. And again, there are things that are going to be exciting to you. It's not just going to be boring. It's going to be like, ooh, some new skill, something I actually didn't think I was interested in, but I am. And so it's going to be that kind of office job. And I think it's going to lead you to realize some things about like, oh, I am more interested in this kind of thing. I didn't think I was. So there's going to be some novel aspects to this, and you're going to learn some things about yourself in the process. So that's what I see happening with your job, Slow Deezy, and I do sense that it's coming fairly soon. This is going to happen pretty soon for you, so you can feel good about that. Okay, moving on, we have Country Love Homestead. And Country Love Homestead asks, what does Spirit want me to know about the current pause between Danny and I? Okay. All right, what does Spirit want you to know about the current pause? There's just so much young energy. Okay. So your relationship with Danny, in the beginning, like all relationships, it's exciting. It just evokes all of this, this youthful wonder and stuff. You feel young and alive. I mean, even if you are still young, it amplifies that excitement and that kind of thing. And I think a lot of what's crept into your relationship, and part of what this pause has really precipitated, or what precipitated this pause is what I meant to say. What brought this about is I think there's some meddling here. Now, I don't think it's really like people are directly trying to interfere in your relationship. So I don't want you to get too like paranoid or, worried. But it's just, I think the two of you have people in your life who are sort of chiming in. You've both got some people in your life who like to give you a lot of advice, kind of like to tell you how they think you should live. And they're doing so out of, they're out of kindness and concern for you and caring. But it's been getting into your heads a bit. And then that turns into friction in the relationship. And so I think part of what caused this pause, whatever the problem is between the two of you, is other people's opinions have gotten into your head. And this can be subtle. It's not necessarily that people are telling you or telling Danny, like, oh, you shouldn't be together, you're no good for each other. But it's just like little things, or sometimes it can be parental influence, where parents or other people whose opinions you respect creep in, and they might just be telling you general things about life. You should try to do this with your life, or you should try to live here or live a certain way. And you're taking that, at least one of you are taking that and it's creeping into how you're looking at your relationship, So then you're wondering, like, was my relationship holding me back from living the way that these people are telling me to, or following this advice? So we've got that going on. And I think that's a chunk of what is kind of interfering in your relationship. So I think it behooves both of you. This pause is going to help you to sort of detach from that. But I want you to be really mindful and vigilant about that. Like if you have people, are really sort of being nosy and really, again, butting in your affairs, you need to create some space and boundaries with that. You don't have to necessarily be mean with them. Again, people generally say these things out of kindness and good intention. But just take it with a grain of salt, Be like, thank you, I appreciate that, but I'm going to do my thing. And I think eventually this is going to help the two of you come back together. The star is like that guiding light out in the darkness. And so you're both going to kind of see that light and sort of get steered back towards each other in due time. But I think it's going to take a while. So this is not necessarily this week or even the next few weeks. This is going to emerge over the next probably few months. But I think you will eventually sort of turn your ships back towards each other and come back together again. So, yeah, there's a lot of that. And, that sort of outside talk is just, it's so sneaky. It creeps into our lives in such sneaky ways. And we don't realize that it's affecting our decision making and how we're looking at things. So try to take some time with that and think about what that really looks like. Okay, welcome in. Thank you so much for showing up tonight, Noah, for some support. We're in the back end of things tonight, but I'm always happy to see you in here, Noah. It's great to see you. Also welcome in Lucy, and also Kayla. And unfortunately for the three of you, we have sort of cut off the queue for the night. I can only really take the readings that we've already taken. But I do encourage you to please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so that you're notified when we go live. We usually go live about 8 p.m. Mountain time, so Denver, United States time, on Thursday night. And so if you get in here a little earlier, I think we can get you in for a reading. I also do provide personal, one-on-one, in-depth readings, which I do charge for. And you can learn about those and book those from my website. It's just www.jojotarot.com. So you can go check that out if you'd like to book a reading with me. And those are really, really good. So I apologize that we can't get you in, but please do come back. And also hang out and listen to some other readings and see if you like how I read. So with that being said, all right. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for the subscription. With that being said, we're on to Violet's reading, and Violet asks, will Libra reach out to me, and what will be his intentions, please? Will it be a breakup or emotionally mature makeup? Oh, very interesting. Okay. Okay, Violet, let's see. 6 of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and Ace of Swords. Okay. All right, Violet. So I do sense there is some emotional maturity coming through from Libra. But what that leads me to say, and what Spirit is really telling me here, is that Libra is going to break up with you, and so I'm sorry to sort of deliver that news, but it's going to happen fairly soon. And when it does happen, this person is going to approach you, and do it. They're not just going to ghost you. They are going to reach out to you and tell you that they think it's time for them to move on. And they're going to do it in a very kind and compassionate way. I don't sense that they really want to hurt your feelings, but they are just being honest. They've kind of come to this place of a greater honesty and understanding of their own feelings and what they're looking for, and what they want right now in their life. And that's not any sort of negative commentary on you as a person. And that's not what they're going to tell you. They're not going to come to you and be like, oh, it's you. I don't like this about you or whatever. It's going to be a very kind of compassionate breakup on their part. And I sense that it isn't from a place of like they want to be with someone else right now, even. But they're just in a place where they want to sort of be on their own for a chunk of time, and kind of sort themselves out in a way and just grow. And people go through those phases, and it's probably for the best, and I think it's going to be beneficial for you, as painful as that may be and as sad as it may be. Something much better is going to emerge for both of you out of this. So at least it will be a kind and easy breakup. So I wish you the best with that. Sorry it couldn't have been better news, but that is what Spirit is telling me here. So thank you for your question, Violet. We've got 2 left. We're down to Braveheart. Braveheart would like a love reading. And then Arif will end with a love reading. Gotta love it. Okay, Braveheart. What's going on with your love life? Alrighty. All righty. Wow. Just it's like every reading. There's Judgment again, and the Lovers. Okay. There's just a lot of these like there's just very strong synchronous patterns in the tribe. And again, I think a lot of this is this bigger energy of the portal and all that. So we're all kind of, it's like we're all in this river together, and we're all in different parts of the river, but it is sort of all carrying us in its own way, sort of roughly in the same direction. So for you, Braveheart, um, we're we've got some, again, some reinvigorating um, romance in your life. Now it might be like I don't know if you're in a relationship or not right now. If you are, then the relationship you're in might sort of rekindle in a way, become more exciting all of a sudden, kind of feel like new in a beautiful way again. Not new like I don't even know who you are. Who are you? But new like, oh man, this is like when we first got together. It's just exciting. Um, if it's a new relationship, again, it's gonna feel just great. There's that wonderful youthful energy, but it's going to be a relationship. It's going to be unlike a relationship that you've experienced before. So there's the transformation element, and it's going to be a powerful one. Um, this is going to be that kind of relationship where you're like, wow, I never thought I would be like want to be with someone who is like this, or who, it's hard to say exactly what that quality is, but like the person you're with is someone that in the past you would have thought I would never be with this kind of person. They don't, have a style. The way they dress or how they look is just not my thing. Was never my thing. Or their beliefs or interests or things that I was never thought I'd be interested in or I could get into. But it's like going to turn everything upside down. It's like you're going to be a different person for having this relationship, and it's going to be a very strong and powerful relationship. I don't know that you'll be with this person forever. It's too hard to say here with 3 cards, but a big one, big and powerful thing. And it's going to take you for a ride. It's going to happen pretty quickly. And, a month or 2 from now, you're just going to be like, wow, I never thought, right? Like that would be the one, they would be the one, but, this is it. Like we're really happy together. So, yeah, a powerful relationship, really good one. Okay, and we'll wrap it up with Arif with the last love reading for the night. And one final reminder to everyone, um, there really is no greater way to use and enjoy tarot than learning to read it yourself. And it really is so simple. In just a few hours with me on Zoom and some other people, just like all of you, you can learn to read for yourself and others. There's no real serious memorization, study, or homework with it. It's actually just a lot of fun. It's really just using your intuition and interpreting what you see in the images. Um, so please check out the class. That link is pinned in the comments. And I encourage you to do so if you're even remotely interested in taking it. We've got a bunch of dates this month. And after August, the price will be going up. So now's a great time to get in. It's only $18 for the class. And you get access to replays and also our WhatsApp community so that you can continue to read and practice and get advice from myself and your fellow students. So, okay, Arif. Well, it might be a great thing for you if you want to, sort of learn a bit more. It is a beginner's class, but there's always so much you can learn. So certainly check it out sometime. That being said, what can you, Arif, expect in the coming months for your love life? Alrighty. Okay. It is. It's a great tool. I think it's better than just meditation. I think a lot of people struggle with traditional meditation. You know, we live in a very distracted world where we have a hard time quieting our mind. And so the tarot makes it easier, especially if you're just someone who really is like neurodivergent, where you have, you know, if you're like you have ADHD or something, having a visual stimulus, something to actually look at, really helps to focus the attention without getting in the way of your intuition. And so, for a lot of people who are neurodivergent, meditation is really hard. And most people try it and they give up because they just can't. Their mind is just too chaotic, and you need something to focus on. And that's why I love tarot so much. So, for you, Arif, your love life, kind of interesting. It's interesting how to sort of inspect these cards a bit. So I think your love life is going to look like you doing some searching for a partner. I know you've kind of been in and out of things, but your attention is going to be turned towards like wanting to find someone else. Now, that may not look like you putting yourself out there a lot, but your mind is going to be like, oh, maybe this person, maybe that person, I don't know, and that kind of thing. But you're going to have this longing and yearning to find a new relationship. And some frustration will set within that, will start to set in because you're just really uncertain. You know, you're going to be like, oh, maybe this person, like, no. And I think you're going to get to a little bit of a place of like feeling like you just can't see the way forward. You're just so uncertain. Like you feel like this new relationship is coming to you, but it's just so unclear who that is or how it's going to show up. And that's kind of a tough thing. And that's going to be the challenge. And there's going to be a temptation to really sort of put yourself out there, maybe try too hard to find someone. And you just want to be careful with that because you can get into the classic pattern. We've all been through it in our lives at some point of like just sort of jumping from one relationship to a next, and none of them are very good. Uh, so be discerning, you know. But there's going to be that sort of feeling, like feeling a bit lost, you know, a little bit of like, I don't even know if that person's out there for me. I want to assure you that they are, and you are going to find them. It's going to take a little bit of time. And they are someone who is, again, more this youthful energy, maybe more youthful in the way that they think about the world. Maybe there's someone who sees the world a little more innocently. And also the way they speak and talk about things is going to be, again, like a very youthful and invigorating thing. You know, they talk about things in a very excited and positive way, and not like, oh, my life, FML, you know, like fuck my life. But just like, ooh, isn't this cool? Isn't this exciting? I wonder what's going to happen, even when things might seem challenging. So that person is out there for you, and they're going to bring a lot of joy into your life. But you're going to have to go through it for a bit, and it's going to take some time. But they will come to you. And I do sense that it's going to be someone that you're already in some way acquainted with. That's a little bit of what I see in the Three of Pentacles here. Even if you don't know them well, it's someone that you've at least interacted with once or so, or is at least, you know, 1 degree of separation from you. It's like, oh, it's that friend of your friend who you just saw one day. You just ran into them, didn't even really talk to them. But it's going to be someone like that you're not that far removed from. So they are out there and they are coming. Just try to be patient and don't get too frustrated as you're in that search. Okay, Arif? So I hope that helps you. I hope that finds you well. I hope all of your advice, all of the messages from Spirit serve you well this week. I certainly wish you all the best. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. And I love all of you. So